Hello, good evening, guys. Welcome to another episode of this podcast, The Uncapped Indians. We have Zohaib Khan, who's finally decided to join us on this podcast. Welcome, Zohaib. Glad to have you. 35th match played after a long time at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in New Delhi, a relay pitch. Everyone's excited. Ricky Ponting says it's got a tinge of grass. You might have lost last year 5 out of 6 games. You want to make a comeback, but the comeback came from someone else. Sunrisers Hyderabad has defeated Delhi Capitals by 67 runs, scoring 266 again. Zoeb, I'd like to start with you. What do you make up of this match? And
Yaar, why do you think I'm wearing an orange t-shirt? Joy Bhattacharya said कि मैंने तो कभी टेक्स्ट बुक क्रिकेट में भी फर्स्ट 6 ओवर्स में 125 रन नहीं बनाए. So you can imagine the brand of cricket that they are playing. Pat Cummins, after their last match, mentioned that we are intimidating even before we step onto the field. The intent and the attitude is simple. जाओ, मारो, तोड़ो, खत्म करो. रुकना नहीं है. I'm very, very happy with the way they are playing, and they look like they are in the race. I don't think they're in the race. They are already in top 4 for me.
So, we'll start with the SRH batting lineup, Krishna. I'll come to Travis Head. It's a big topic. Abhishek Sharma, very impressive, 12 ball 46.
Very, very, very impressive, यार. मतलब it's the strike rate that you see is absolutely unreal. मतलब वो 350-400 के स्ट्राइक रेट से खेल रहे हैं यार, दोनों के दोनों. मतलब आपका 5 ओवर में 6 ओवर में, मतलब गली क्रिकेट में भी इतने रन नहीं बनते यार जितने ये लोग एक आईपीएल में बना रहे हैं यार. 5 ओवर 6 ओवर में आपके 120 130 वही किल कर दिया इन लोगों ने गेम यार. And it was such a delight to watch. मतलब मैं देख रहा था कि हर बॉल, I was fortunate enough to watch that game live in front of my eyes, and मतलब हर बॉल मतलब उड़ के आ रहा है और क्राउड में जा रहा है. फील्डर का मतलब कोई काम ही नहीं है, कोई रोल ही नहीं है पावर प्ले में यार. बस वो खड़े हैं और ऊपर से ऐसे देख रहे हैं, जाते हुए इधर जा रहा है, कभी इधर जा रहा है, कभी इधर जा रहा है, बस जा ही जा रहा है.
लाइव देखने गया था.
हाँ,
लाइव देखा.
Yeah, he was the match. He was there.
And I mean, it was just awesome, man. मतलब ये बहुत ही unreal है. But somewhere I also feel कि एक बहुत ही अच्छी ऑप्शन स्ट्रेटजी थी from SRH, क्योंकि उनको ये मालूम था शायद कि उनके पास उतने वैसे बॉलर्स नहीं है कि आप जो है ऐसा स्कोर या फिर 220 डिफेंड कर पाओ. क्योंकि every time they've scored above 250, they've conceded 200 runs. And that is something that everyone needs to sort of realize कि उनकी bowling उतनी कुछ खास नहीं है. और इसलिए मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि that's why they really go hell for leather when it comes to their batting. चाहे वो पावर प्ले हो, और वो पूरा 20 ओवर मारने के ही चक्कर में रहते हैं. और उनकी पूरी बैटिंग लाइनअप अगर आप देखो तो वो पूरा पावर हिटर्स से भर रखा है. और राहुल त्रिपाठी जैसे प्लेयर्स के लिए मतलब शायद ही यहाँ पे कोई जगह बन पाएगी, क्योंकि वो जिस तरीके से खेलते हैं, ही इज अ बिजी प्लेयर एंड ही इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेयर, but he just doesn't suit the SRH lineup right now.
Also, before you speak, the hindsight, if you see, अगर तू positive side से देखेगा, so they have only conceded 200 runs, not more than that. They're still winning by 60, 70, 80, and 90 odd runs.
That is the amount of score that you need.
That is also a good thing. मतलब ठीक है, 200 अभी हम क्यों बोल रहे हैं, क्योंकि any team scoring 200 is a winning target, not for SRH anymore.
Yeah. Coming to SRH's best batsman right now, and probably one of the best batsmen right now in the world in T20. मेरे को लगता है ट्रेविस हेड को बुरा लग गया है कि उसने हमें वर्ल्ड कप हरा दिया और उसे अब इंडिया को देने की बारी है. इंडिया में इतने महीने रहा, अभी आईपीएल में रह रहा है, उसका लग रहा है अभी मुझे कुछ करना चाहिए. And I read something very interesting about Travis Head before we come to his recent form. अप्रैल 2021 की बात है. वो कहीं 450 किलोमीटर ऑस्ट्रेलिया एडिलेड से दूर एक कैंपिंग ट्रिप पे गया था अपनी फैमिली के साथ, और वो आउट ऑफ नेटवर्क था. 2 दिन बाद जब वो थोड़ा करीब आया तो नेटवर्क मिला उसे, और उसे एक मैसेज आया क्रिकेट ऑस्ट्रेलिया से कि यू हैव बीन रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. ये बात 2 दिन पहले हो चुकी थी, उसे पता नहीं था ये हुआ है। तो अपनी फैमिली के सामने उसने टेक्स्ट पढ़ा. He bottled up all those feelings and he said, I don't want to ruin a vacation for my family. I'm not going to say anything. Then he decides to play domestic cricket, and then came the Ashes, where he performed. And when asked about what happened, he gives credit to Pat Cummins. He said, when Patty, as he calls him, came in, he said that you don't worry about getting out, you only worry about scoring runs. Your position in the team is fixed. Leave all the noise aside and play your shots freely. And he till date credits that the reason why I'm here, like he was going to quit cricket. He was going to say, if I don't play for Australia, I don't play for Australia. But today he comes and Pat Cummins puts that faith in Head, and Travis Head scores 89 in 32 balls. That's mayhem. That's absolute mayhem.
This goes to show, what a great captain can actually do. हम सब लोग यही बोल रहे थे कि नहीं, पैट कमिंस जो है सिर्फ टेस्ट मैच का कैप्टन है, पैट कमिंस जो है सिर्फ वनडे का कैप्टन है, पैट कमिंस जो है T20 का कैप्टन नहीं है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. एंड उसको उसके खुद के देश वाले ऐसे नहीं समझ रहे हैं यार, क्योंकि T20 में एक्चुअली मिचेल मार्श कैप्टन.
Yeah, very excited to see him also.
Is not just about deciding कि भाई मैं कौन सा ओवर किसको क्या देने वाला हूँ, and a lot of on-field decisions that you make, and a lot of people, in fact, in the cricketing world have said that कि भाई आपका जो leadership है, आपकी जो captaincy है, 90% is all on off, मतलब सारा का सारा is off field, and just 10% that you get to see is on the field. और वही उसके बेसिस पे, क्योंकि हम सारे रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड हैं, रिजल्ट ड्रिवन हैं, इसीलिए हमें कहीं ना कहीं मतलब ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं यार, अगर रिजल्ट नहीं आया तो ही इज अ बैड कैप्टन,
तो क्या होगा,
अगर रिजल्ट आया. मैं आज भी बता रहा हूँ, नॉट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल एक्चुअली गिव क्रेडिट टू व्हाट जो रूट डिड टू इंग्लैंड, जब एक्चुअली इंग्लैंड ना एक बहुत ही डायर स्ट्रेट्स में थी, क्योंकि कोविड था, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. एंड देन दे प्लेड अ लॉट ऑफ सीरीज लाइक जस्ट लाइक एशेस, वहां पे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जाके वो बुरी तरह हारे, वेस्ट इंडीज में जाके बुरी तरह हारे. बट दैट वाज अ वेरी 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 डिफिकल्ट टाइम फॉर इंग्लैंड. पर ऐसे मामले में, ऐसे टाइम पे आपको कौन चाहिए था एज अ कैप्टन? You wanted someone like Joe Root who could actually bottle up all the feelings, just like how did that at time. Who could actually bottle up everything and at least try and take the team together. क्योंकि यार it is not easy. हम लोग कहते हैं नहीं यार देश के लिए खेल रहे हैं ये वो, बट यार आप इस दिन आप निकल नहीं रहे कमरे से, होटल के, इट कैन एक्चुअली टेक अ टोल. तो उस टाइम पे जब उसने कैप्टनसी करी, और बहुत सारे लोग उसको नहीं देते हैं क्रेडिट, क्योंकि अब उसके बाद कौन आया? बेन स्टोक्स, ठीक है, जो कि इंग्लैंड का हीरो और ये सब. एंड हेंस पीपल हैव फॉरगॉटन हाउ गुड अ लीडर एक्चुअली जो रूट वाज. एंड हेंस द सेम एनालॉजी एक्चुअली अप्लाइज फॉर पैट कमिंस एज वेल, क्योंकि लोग even after the World Cup, even after the WTC, somehow they feel that he's not a T20 captain, but he's showing it day in and day out here, at least, with the SRH camp, that yes, he has a game plan. If you give him resources, he'll work according to that. उसके पास bowlers नहीं है, पर उसको जो बैटिंग रिसोर्सेज मिला है वो उससे जीत रहा है भाई. वो सिर्फ एक डिपार्टमेंट से पूरा गेम जीत रहा है और डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं वो लोग आईपीएल में. आई मीन फैबुलस.
तो जोएब, कमिंग टू यू, ट्रेविस हेड ने ये भी बोला कि जब वो दूसरे इंडियन प्लेयर्स के साथ, तो सब पूछ रहे थे भाई पैट कमिंस कैसा कैप्टन है, क्या करना है. बोलता है कुछ मत करो, रिलैक्स करो, चिल करो. वो बहुत ही मस्त बंदा है, वो बहुत इंक्लूसिव है, और वो कोई शो शाह ये वो कुछ नहीं करता. डू यू थिंक दैट रिजेंबल्स विद समवन एल्सेस कैप्टनसी आल्सो, जोएब?
No, I think MS and Pat Cummins, these are two completely different personalities. दो चीजें मुझे बोलनी है. कृष्णा, तूने ट्रैविस हेड के बारे में एक चीज बताई. ट्रैविस हेड के बारे में you said that Pat Cummins told him go play positively. If you all have seen the test series on Amazon Prime, and after the sandpaper incident when David Warner was having a bad time, and Ricky Ponting was also along with JL, for that brief moment
for the World Cup.
Ricky Ponting said one thing: if you're afraid about scoring runs, fuck that. Just think of how you can score runs, right? And there's one word that relates to Travis Head, that is absolute positivity. उसके अलावा I don't think so आप कोई भी और word relate कर पाओगे Travis Head के लिए. Talking about Pat Cummins, would you like to thank Pat Cummins for introducing Nitish Reddy in Sunrisers Hyderabad. Question asked by the presenter. Joy Bhattacharya answers, I don't think so. A lot of people still would want to thank Pat Cummins after 19th November. Let that sink in a little bit.
I think we're past that. I think, okay, moving to Pat Cummins. In the middle stage, Sunrisers Hyderabad was in a sticky position because Henrik Larsson got out. Akshar Patel was going at them, bowling on the stumps, not giving them any room. Nitesh Kumar Reddy comes in, shows that he can play an anchoring innings. And then out of nowhere, Shahbaz Ahmed. Out of thin air, Shahbaz Ahmed comes, Krishna, scores 59 in 29 balls. What?
I think ये what जो है ना आरसीबी बोल रही होगी अभी यार हर प्लेयर
Exactly my point. What?
हर प्लेयर हमसे निकल के मतलब कैसे परफॉर्म कर जाता है यार
Travis Head included.
Oh, Travis Head also was part of RCB?
yes
When he started with Gale, AB de Villiers, Travis Head.
Klaasen, Henry Klaasen was part of RCB once. Can you
Watson?
Do you know how this thing happens? If you move from one segment to the other, a whitewash happens. In this, it is different. You move outside the washing machine, your clothes get clean. And
You can make a playing 11 of people who have left RCB, which can actually defeat RCB right now.
Not just RCB, every other team actually in the IPL. They've become better players. They've become better players after RCB. So that's one of the reasons जो कि आरसीबी कहते हैं कि नहीं हम अच्छे प्लेयर्स बनाते हैं. आप अच्छे प्लेयर बना रहे हो, आप दूसरी टीम के लिए बना रहे हो, आप अपनी टीम के लिए कब बनाओगे is my question to them. But Shahbaz यार वो बहुत अच्छा खेला. मतलब the way he was striking the ball, he was maneuvering the gaps also, he was playing the field. वो देखना मतलब बहुत अच्छा लगा यार. And honestly with in close quarters जब आप देखते हो तो आपको पता लगता है कि हाँ फील्ड क्या लग रही है, अब क्या बॉलर डालने वाला है, etc. But I think it was genuinely a very good innings, both from him as well as Nitish Reddy for that.
You know, apart from Pat Cummins, there's something that adds cherry on the cake for SRH. Who's the head coach for SRH?
Daniel Vittori.
Daniel Vittori. Daniel Vittori is the head coach of SRH. So I think that entire, because you're talking about RCB, that entire setup of a Dan Vittori and a Pat Cummins, both very cool and calm-minded. Daniel Vittori has not played a lot of T20s to sort of do this, but that sort of sets SRH completely apart. What 6 ओवर में 125 रन बनाया यार, it's just outrageous.
देखो यार जब कोच जब कीवी होता है ना तो टीम्स वर्ल्ड क्लास बन जाती हैं.
Yeah, like John Wright. Yes. Like John Wright. You were aiming there. You were going there. John Wright. Nothing much to talk about. Delhi bowling. Hendrik Nokia, world-class bowler from South Africa, 6 feet and above, bowls 145, goes for a 10-over 100 again. Krishna, thoughts on Kuldeep Yadav? Given runs, took wickets, but maybe expected better.
मैं वही बोलने वाला था. I think the only talking point about Delhi's bowling lineup today was Kuldeep Yadav यार. मतलब मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा था यार कहीं ना कहीं कि आज भाई 350 भी बन सकते हैं. वो जिस तरीके से मार रहे हैं, मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा, वो 350 भी बन जाते, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं थी. एंड ट्रेविस हेड हैज मेंशन्ड दिस यार कि मतलब we will go for 300. We will strike.
Like next is 300. He jokingly said that.
We'll do that. ठीक है. और मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा था आज बन जाएगा, आज हो जाएगा. But the only thing that stopped them from doing so was Kuldeep Yadav. And I am so happy with the way he's bowling. For the past 2 years now, he's shown that why he's such a world-class bowler. He got a kick on the back जब उसको थोड़ा सा मतलब select नहीं किया in the Indian team. Then he went back to the NCA, tried very hard. Hell was a part of that setup at that point in time. But then he came back. The way he performed in the World Cup, the way he performed in the Test series, and now he's the way he's performing in the T20s for Delhi Capitals. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do in the West Indies and then the pitches in New York. जो हमें मिलने वाले in the T20. So I was really impressed with I mean for the past 2 years, in fact, we've all been
Yeah.
really impressed with Kuldeep Yadav, honestly speaking,
He's,
and
he's,
speaks
he's
volumes
managed to
about
get a lot
why
of turn.
someone like Rohit Sharma actually backs him very very much, क्योंकि वो दूसरे प्लेयर्स को इतना बैक नहीं करता जितना वो कुलदीप यादव को बैक करता, और उसका एक अलग बॉन्डिंग है रोहित शर्मा का कुलदीप यादव के साथ, वो देखने को.
Mm, mm. So Zoeb, if I mean everyone's talking about not talking about but sort of sensing कि यार शर्मा रिटायर हो जाएगा, विराट कोहली रिटायर हो जाएगा, बट कोई ये नहीं सोच रहा कि कभी ना कभी जडेजा भी रिटायर हो सकता है. एंड जडेजा का बेस्ट बैकअप इज अक्षर पटेल. Do you agree to that? Apart from the fielding, of course.
I'm glad you mentioned apart from the fielding, because after the catch that he took last evening, I don't think so he's retiring anytime soon. But
Yeah, the
having
same match that CSK lost.
but यार ओके ठीक है, मुझे एक चीज पूछनी है यार आप लोगों से. मेरा ना सिर दर्द अब बहुत ज्यादा हो गया, मुझे ना डोलो 650 लेना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि फ्रॉम एन इंडियन सिलेक्शन कमिटीज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू मुझे अब
Yeah.
नहीं समझ आती कि मैं टॉप 11 में किसको लूंगा, क्योंकि अक्षर पटेल परफॉर्म कर रहा है, कुलदीप यादव विकेट्स ले रहा है, ठीक है, नीतीश रेड्डी, आई नो इट्स वेरी अर्ली फॉर अस टू से एंड इवन टॉक अबाउट हिम
Yeah.
being part of that squad now that Shivam
Yeah.
Dube is also there, but Shivam Dube is not bowling.
Bowling.
So
Nitish Reddy is bowling.
Shardul Thakur obviously is not again very impactful this IPL. So the only medium pace bowling all rounder is Hardik
Yeah.
Pandya and Nitish Reddy, right? So
Yeah.
you never know. Knowing Rohit Sharma, who is always backing his instinct more than experience, this that,
Dude, I
I
know that.
think he might be selected. So Akshar Patel, I think he is so good when it comes to his accuracy. मतलब अगर तुम उसकी बॉल नहीं खेल पाओगे, या तो एलबीडब्ल्यू आउट हो जाओगे, या तो तुम्हारे डंडे उड़ जाएंगे. सिंपल सी बात
Yeah.
है.
Yeah.
एक्यूरेसी
You
बहुत
can't
बढ़िया.
hit him cross a lot. Yeah.
And that is exactly what he did today. He was exceptional. When a team has scored 266 and this guy goes for what, around 29 runs in about 4 overs,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's absolutely
And a
outstanding.
wicket. And a wicket.
And a wicket as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to come to Delhi Capitals batting. Yeah. I'm going to say a few things. I'm going to talk about the new babyface killer in town. Okay. He's 22 years old, born on 11th of April 2002. Okay. This guy is in Jaipur on a golf course, and he's taking pictures of David Warner with fans. So fan आ रहे हैं, David Warner को बोले मेरे को फोटो खींचो, और ये बंदा उसका फोटो खींचता है. मैक्सवेल ने उसके बारे में बोला है कि the potential he has does not have a ceiling. Okay. In 2019, he was 16 years old prodigy at Victoria, hitting 50 on first class and listed debut, but still did not have a state contract. Hence, in 2022-23, he decides to move to South Australia, frustrated with the fact that and full of self-doubt, will he be able to ever make it? Okay. This guy misses the Under-19 World Cup after the quarterfinal because they went out on a team meeting in a zoo, and a monkey scratched his eyelid. He had to go back and missed. He got run out on the quarterfinal of 2019. Okay. He moves to South Australia. He does not get picked for the IPL, but plays in the Dubai Premier League for the same team. Okay. He plays his first ODI match, or the second ODI match, scores 41 in 18 balls against West Indies. Okay. And he says that cricket does not look like work to me. And there was a time when in the Adelaide Oval, there was an ODI match going on. He was carrying drinks for the team of Australia, and David Warner was on 100 and Travis Head was on the non-striker end. So he went with the drinks, and at that time, David Warner passed a remark, and I quote, and he said this to Head: "It's not often that you bat with me when I'm on 100, make it count." And he started laughing on that joke. That same evening, David Warner spent so much time with that guy that it gave him so much confidence that he comes to the IPL after receiving a text message on an airplane and just a mammoth innings. Krishna.
Yeah, I mean, I was so happy, that I could witness that innings, right in front of my eyes. I mean, this guy he is mighty special, man. And
Yeah.
not a lot of people actually know that he actually came in as a replacement for Lungi Engidi, who's actually a bowler, and he got unsold at the auction. And the first match that he plays against LSG, the second ball that he faces, it goes for a 6. The next game that he plays is against GT. Okay?
Yeah.
And Delhi have some 90 odd runs to win. Now, what does he do? He plays for the team because net run rate is. So he smacks the first ball that he plays for a six. Saurav Ganguly is in disbelief, sitting at the dugout, and he's like, "Oh my God, what was I doing
Smiling.
during my time?"
Yeah.
You know, I had the capability because I've smacked Muralidharan out of the park. You know, sent a ball into the lake in England, and what was I doing during my time? And the way he scored 30 runs off Washington Sundar today, I mean, this guy has he's truly announced himself here and told a lot of people that he is a talent to watch out for. And if this is the way that he's going to play, not just for India, this guy is going to be a nightmare for every opposition in the World Cup. I really can't wait to see more of him, man. I mean,
do you remember Rohit Sharma? Sorry, do you remember Rohit Sharma once said that the sub-impact rule does not allow Washington, Sundar and Shivam Dube to bowl? I think after this day, we realize why Washington Sundar isn't bowling right now. Zoheb, after all the conversation about Head and Pat Cummins and this new guy called Jake Fraser-McGurk, at the end of the IPL, he's going to be on the other team. And probably Nitesh Reddy is going to be bowling to him. So, your thoughts? And we could be happy about it right now, but
यार देसी लोग है ना, थोड़े इमोशनल होते हैं, तो शायद हम इमोशनल होके नीतीश रेड्डी को ले लें, बट Aussies won't take what's his name, Fraser, right? I don't think so. They'll select him.
Jake Fraser-McGurk. Remember the name.
Because remember the name, Carlos Brathwaite. Right. So I think it's still very, very early. And one thing that you don't realize is that Sunrisers Hyderabad is also giving an opportunity to the batters to go out there and express themselves, right? क्योंकि अब हमारे पास कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं बचता है भाई, एज अ बैटर हमें सिर्फ मारना ही है, राइट? तो जब आपके पास दो ऑप्शन होते हैं ना, कि अगर मान लो अगर आपका टारगेट 180 190 है, तो आप क्या सोचते हैं कि एक ओवर में 2-3 रन मार लूंगा, दूसरा ओवर कैपिटलाइज करूंगा, राइट? तो अभी क्या हो रहा है, यू आर हैविंग टू डिफरेंट माइंडसेट्स. ओके, इस बॉलर को टारगेट करूंगा, बुमराह का ओवर शायद मैं खेल लूंगा, इसका ओवर. लेकिन जब आप 270 मार रहे हो, तो मेरा सिर्फ एक ही माइंडसेट है कि भाई मुझे जाके मारना है. तो या तो आप आउट हो जाओगे, और यू विल प्ले मैग्निफिसेंट थिंग्स लाइक Fraser, like how he did
but
today.
there is a method to his madness also. If you look at the plays that he creates, the hand speed, there is a method. It's not just that he's slogging. He's not a slogger. He's got his method in place.
I agree. Absolutely.
Like,
I agree.
I feel that Jake Fraser's story of not being selected for his state camp and Ashutosh Sharma's story are sort of running parallels, just 3-4 years here and there, if that's an okay just thing to make. But coming to Sunrisers bowling, there is one person, if you want to put a finger to, who won the match for SRH, is T. Natarajan, the net bowler from CSK, the hero of the Australian tour. 4 overs, Krishna, 19 runs, 1 maiden. He's bowled 1 maiden and 4 wickets.
More headache for Indian team, by the way.
Yes. I don't think that, isko log, I don't know if they'll actually select Natarajan, honestly speaking, because they've got a lot more other options. And I don't know how fascinated, is Rohit Sharma about T. Natarajan, but what a performance here. Again, these kind of spells.
Quick fact.
We spoke about Akshar Patel.
Yeah. Sorry. T. Natarajan is left-handed. Put you there as a thought. He's a left-handed bowler. Mr. Sharma doesn't like them.
For sure, but he doesn't like them when he's facing those left-handers. But yeah, I mean, if he has that weapon, in his army, then he'd be more than happy to do so. But again, I think T. Natarajan is a special bowler, and he, I think, showed that today. मैं हमेशा उसको बहुत highly rate करता हूँ यार, but it's just that he only plays T20. Now, when you play T20, these days, every time that you go for runs, people judge you, right? And people judge your performances on the basis of the numbers that you generate on the field. And not every time a bowler on these kind of pitches, your numbers are actually going to be impressive. But today he showed, and not just him, but bowlers like Akshar Patel, that when you're accurate, even on pitches like these, it's going to pay you dividends. At the end of the day, it's all about how you can cramp rooms, cramp up the batsman and not give him rooms, and the Yorkers that he bowled, and that I think it was just great. He was in rhythm today. I don't, I know for a fact that he doesn't speak much English, or probably doesn't understand. So I don't know how the
Yeah,
communication between Daniel Vittori and Pat Cummins and Natarajan actually happens, because he comes down
yeah,
from a district called Salem. Okay, and
yeah,
वहां पे सिर्फ तमिल बोली जाती है, वहां पे ज्यादा हिंदी भी नहीं समझते लोग, इंग्लिश भी नहीं समझते, so he doesn't actually understand the language as much as probably the others do. But it's
yeah,
just great to see, someone like Pat Cummins coming in and, giving him pat at the back because he's picked up a wicket. And then, for him to understand Pat Cummins' instructions also, every now and
yeah.
then deliver every time, for him. And I think his this
Or
season,
probably he's not even listening to him.
maybe,
He's
who
not
knows?
listening or understanding. I don't
Maybe.
know, bro. I only know how to bowl. But Zoya, I have a question for you. Okay, in this entire Sunrisers Hyderabad, you have Travis Head, you have and you have Pat Cummins, who are the two leading Australians who could take a match away from India. But all the Indians who are playing are not probables for the World T20. So hence, I think they might take Natarajan. कि भाई तू बता इसको हेड को कैसा आउट करते हैं नेट प्रैक्टिस में, क्योंकि हमसे तो नहीं हुआ था 19 नवंबर को.
Naini, I think that's an interesting point that you've picked up. Look, these players, when you talk about SRH bowling, there's Markande, there is Natarajan, there is Bhuvi, right? You've
Yeah,
uh, I think they are doing really well in this season, but they haven't been
yeah,
consistently doing well for SRH,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
why, like I said, we are
yeah,
Indians and we'd like to always make decisions based on 3 or 4 matches. I believe that Natarajan, because he's bowling so well at the death,
mm,
Bhuvi can be used
mm,
like how Dhoni used to use Deepak Chahar. He can
yeah.
maybe pull the 3 overs,
Swing
first
the ball here and there.
overs, first 6 overs, because he's an exceptional swing bowler. But Bhuvi
Mm,
off lately has not been bowling really well at the death.
mm, mm,
Okay. Apart from
mm,
that, if you see Markande has
mm,
picked up big scalps this season.
mm,
He's picked up Virat Kohli's
mm,
wicket. Today, two batters, very, very important batters who are on song, Porel and
yeah,
Fraser. He took their wickets as well.
yeah,
Right? So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
SRH bowling, and including Pat Cummins himself, I mean, let alone his captaincy, the ninth, 10th, and 11th over really changed the course of the game for
yeah,
SRH.
yeah.
Up till the eighth
100%.
over, up till the eighth over, Delhi were cruising.
Yeah,
Come Comes the ninth over, Markande takes a wicket, gives away 4 runs. Pat Cummins gives only 2 runs, and Nattu comes in and he concedes 5 runs. Right?
seals the
And when
match.
you are
Yeah.
chasing a target of 260, 270, and
That's a
if one
lot
or
of
two
good
or
overs.
in this
Yeah,
case, 3 overs were conceded only for what, 5, 4, 9, and 11 runs, that's game over.
great. You've done some good analysis, Zoya. I'm very happy. So
Thank you.
we're gonna talk about tomorrow's matches, and I'm gonna say a phrase and tell me which match I'm gonna talk about. Okay. Once I read this somewhere. A journalist asked that what's the difference between India and Australia? He said that whenever as a child, after a match completes and you go home, your parents ask, how many runs did you score? But if in Australia, if a child finishes a match and goes home, the Australian parents ask, did your team win? So I am talking about the Kolkata Knight Riders versus the Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Eden Gardens. That's the first match, guys, tomorrow. Krishna, KKR. I think KKR, but still.
You think KKR? I think everyone.
RCB thinks KKR.
I think everyone. I think even Virat Kohli thinks that it's KKR. Even he doesn't believe that he can win anything with this team now. I mean, come on. You've lost 6 games out of the 7 that you've played. And then in the 8th game, you face one of the top 2 teams, of this IPL, which is KKR.
Yeah.
वो किसी को नहीं छोड़ रहे यार, वो SRH वाली ही गेम खेल रहे हैं, और उनका तो बॉलिंग भी अच्छा है. उनका बॉलिंग, उनका SRH की तरह नहीं है सीन, उनका बॉलिंग भी अच्छा है भाई. So no chance whatsoever. If the only instance where probably RCB can win this game is where KKR play so badly
Yeah.
कि वो अब 49 बना दे. उसके अलावा मुझे लगता नहीं कि RCB का कोई चांस है, honestly speaking. और कोई मतलब वो
Zoeb, I have a question for you. Sorry. Yeah. So the question for you is, Glenn Maxwell has decided to retire. I mean, sort of walk away from the IPL because of whatever he feels that, etc., etc. And the bowling coach for RCB is actually a batsman. So, do you think anything for RCB tomorrow to sort of
यार
win
एक
the
क्वेश्चन
match?
पूछूंगा मैं आप लोगों से। एक एम्प्लॉय अगर कंपनी छोड़ता है तो क्यों छोड़ता है? क्यों छोड़ता है बताओ?
Not happy with the boss, salary is
Not
not good.
happy. See, majorly it's the team environment, the culture, right? मैक्सवेल
Yeah.
अगर और किसी और टीम में होता ना तो वो कभी नहीं छोड़ता। ये कल्चर है, ये कल्चर ही ऐसा है कि यार आरसीबी में जो आता है ना वो परेशान हो जाता है बेचारा। मतलब आई रियली एंड ऑनेस्टली we've done enough trolling of RCB. For a change, I spare of thoughts for Virat Kohli. I really want him to open with Rohit Sharma this World Cup.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and Virat Kohli, the kind of personality he is, he's always going to be upset with the team's results, right? Even though he might score centuries and those 70-80 odd runs, I really want his morale to be high. I know that it's very difficult for RCB to qualify, but even if RCB wins those last 3 or 4 matches in which Virat Kohli contributes and wins it for the team, I
That
think that
goes on to the World Cup.
confidence will go on, because Virat Kohli, and I really want tomorrow कि यार विराट कोहली कल मारे यार, मतलब वो कल 100 मारे, फैफ भी कल, मतलब it should be a good game. I don't want this to be
Yeah.
a one-sided game.
Is this because Gautam Gambhir said that एक छक्के ने मैच नहीं जीता है, so you want to sort of repay it back? Gautam Gambhir should win rather than RCB winning. I'm asking if that's one of your preference. Second match, Krishna, is the Punjab Kings and the Gujarat Titans at Mulanpur, the den of Punjab, but also Shubman Gill's own arena.
I think I don't think that
बंद नहीं कर
Shubman
रहा।
Gill has actually played much on this ground, honestly. ये अभी नया नया बना है, but वो मोहाली पे ज्यादा खेला रहेगा. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean he's going back to his hometown and probably get to spend some time with family. But yeah, I
Yeah.
really want Shubman Gill to come good. Yeah, मतलब it's been a
Yeah.
rough season for him. Because otherwise he's been okay. He's not been very bad as a captain.
Yeah, he's been performing nice.
And on the other hand, we have Punjab. Even after the brilliance of Ashutosh Sharma, the last game, they lost by a very very thin margin, and honestly, they deserve the game. Honestly, and Mumbai did, but that's how sport is. But ठीक है यार, Punjab has actually given us good games this season. हम लोग कह रहे हैं यार कौन देखेगा पंजाब का मैच, कौन देखेगा
Yeah, but
मैच. पंजाब ने एक्चुअली इस सीजन बहुत अच्छा खेला है. They've played really well and they've generated good games. I mean, the results might not have gone their favor, but yeah, they've really played well, and at least they deserve to end the entire tournament on a high. If they don't get to qualify for playoffs, I don't. There's actually a very thin chance that they would, but I would really want them to sort of end the tournament on a high, and in the last 7 games that's left for them, at least try and win 4, if not 6.
Zoeb, I think Punjab has 2 achievements this year. One achievement is that they have Ashutosh Sharma. The second achievement is that they are not RCB. So, any quick thoughts on the game tomorrow?
No, I think more than Ashutosh Sharma, let's not forget talking about Shashank Singh. He's been very impressive, very impressive. I've liked his batting a lot. He scooped Bumrah for a 6. And
No, that is Ashutosh Sharma.
That is Ashutosh Sharma.
Acha, okay, maybe I'm confusing.
No, you are confusing.
Comes after Shashank, right? He comes at 6 and 7. Ashutosh Sharma.
Yeah.
So he's the one who scooped Bumrah, and he's been mighty impressive. Past 2 and all the 2 matches, or 2 or past 3 or 4 matches that we've seen these 2 people, performing really well for Punjab, and it has all gone down to the wire. All the matches. Unfortunately, Punjab was not able to win it. But just a few points that I'd like to mention. You spoke about Shubman Gill. That's how we think. 1 या 2 या 3 मैच अगर कोई बंदा परफॉर्म नहीं करता है तो हमारा माइंडसेट कैसे चेंज हो जाता है. All of a sudden now I've started to think that we already have Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli opening, and since Surya Kumar Yadav is already coming one down for Mumbai, so why not for India? And then at number 4, we have somebody like a Shivam Dube. So where does Shubman Gill fit in here?
Right. I think
What do you
Shubman
think?
Gill will open with Rohit Sharma, if that is the question. Virat Kohli might come in 1 down or 2 down to make changes, but you will need Shubman Gill to be there at the start, because apart from Sharma, someone needs to carry on the momentum. It's like that. It's going to be the same World Cup strategy except for the middle order being changed.
I
But
think Rohit
thank-
Sharma is again going to go for experience, honestly speaking, because he's that kind of. I think Zoeb spoke about him being an instinctive captain and not really thinking whether
Yeah.
he has the experience or not. If he doesn't have the
Yeah.
experience, if he doesn't have the resources, he still is a really good captain. And he's shown that in the Test series as well, and even during the last season with Mumbai, honestly, when he did not have big names like Bumrah didn't play, Hardik Pandya wasn't there, right? And he only had Surya Kumar Yadav, and all the others were Akash Madhwal and Nehal Vadera, and Tilak Verma, all these people, who were rising up. And he said that these people are going to play for India, sometime soon. So I just hope that India doesn't make the same mistake as they have been actually making in the previous World Cups as well, where they've actually completely gone only and only for experience and completely neglected the youth, because I somewhat believe that T20 needs to have that knack, that youngsters these days have, like a Fraser, like a Yashasvi Jaiswal. These people bring in some freshness to the T20 game, which I think will lack if you only and only go for experience and make the same mistake again.
That provokes one more thought in you. Okay, if you see right now, since the last 2-3 games, Ruturaj Gaikwad is coming 1 down. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, Kohli and Sharma open. You might have Shubman Gill. You might have Yashasvi Jaiswal. Suddenly 1 down. There's Ruturaj Gaikwad. Been practicing the entire IPL. Maybe we don't know.
You'll see him opening
Yeah.
It's only because of a nickel, but you'll see him.
We will leave it there.
Just
Time will tell.
Leave it there. Great. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us for this podcast. It's been lovely having you. Kolkata Knight Riders take on Royal Challengers Bangalore tomorrow in the first match. Let us know who wins. Mostly it's Kolkata Knight Riders. The second is Punjab Kings versus Gujarat Titans. Interesting match at Mulanpur. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night and see you all again.
See you. Good night, guys.